Boys and girls, let me tell you 5 things, or actually 6 things about JavaScript, fun things about JavaScript you didn't know. So the first one, and by the way, we're starting from zero because I'm a programmer and we start from counting from zero. And the first thing is that functions are basically objects. And also you can print out the name of the function. So here we have, let me just say we have an object that's declared like this, and I probably shouldn't use var but use let, and we have some function that says hi, and then we have I'm just printing the name of the function is, and see if I here reference the object that of course contains this function, say hi, and if I just there's a property called name, as you can see, in if I print this out, basically I will get that the name of the function is say hi. So you probably didn't know that this, you probably didn't know this, and you probably never use it, but it's fun. So without, let's continue on with the first thing. Actually, now we're basically at the second element of my array of fun things. The second thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that in JavaScript we have 6 types. So surprising, so fun, huh? I know. So we have number, string, boolean, function, object, and symbol. We have number, that's it, that's right. We don't have the boring int, double, float, double int, etc. 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 We have number for everything. So simple, right? That's why you love JavaScript. So also we have some special types. See, there's the so specially undefined, and basically these are undefined and null. Also we have, oh, the next thing is basically, I'll come to the next thing, is what counts as false. You may wonder, because it's so fun. And of course false, if I type here false, that counts for false, of course. And also we have a 0, this counts as false. So if I run this now, I'll get this line, this else line get executed. Also we have empty strings, nan, and this is basically stands for not a number. Then we have null and undefined. My brothers from another mother. The third thing is we have 2 equal signs and 3 equal signs. So that's the difference, and that's the third thing, or I should say the fourth element, and with the third index, with 3 index. So what's the difference? So basically this doesn't check for the types. When you compare two things, it doesn't check for the types, and basically just converts them basically and compares them. So it will turn these two into strings if compared. And I don't know why is this let. Usually, by the way, this is a side note, side tip. Usually you start, first of all, when declaring any variable, you start with the most restrictive type on the planet, which is const. You cannot change x and y now, because that's how it should be done. You shouldn't be able to change the values of variables if you don't need to. So that's the difference between this and this. And this basically, probably I didn't mention it, but this checks for type. The fifth thing, ladies and gentlemen, is objects. Excuse me. So we have this thing called an object literal, and this is how we create an object literal. And objects, the interesting thing here is that objects contain key value pairs. and but basically I haven't seen this anywhere in any language. So here I have my fancy object that has a variable should you subscribe, and of course it holds the value true because you should subscribe. The next function, and why is this function here? So basically this is somehow connected to an object, and basically we have here my video object that, as you can see, is created like from a constructor that is basically this function. This is very interesting thing and actually you can see my video that is JavaScript introduction, and it has 0 likes probably at the time of you're watching this. So if you don't want to have 0 likes or like not less, but if you don't want to have 0 likes, make sure to like this video. Also arrays. So I'm adding a lot of things in this fourth thing, or fifth I should say. Nevertheless, so here is how you create an array, very simple. And don't forget the new keyword. You basically create like an object, and the interesting thing here is in arrays you can add objects as well as elements. And if you see up closely, you can see at the 0 index, first and second, I've added some, of course, values, some string values, elements, and now I've skipped all the way to the 400 index. And basically, if I print out the length of the array, what do you think it will be? That's right, it's 101. Comment down below if you guessed it right, then you're probably a JavaScript god. So, and if you print out the type of the array is object, and don't see what's coming after object because I'll talk about it just now. So the sixth thing is the difference of off and in a for loop, and I'm talking about this in and off. What do you think different is? Comment down below. A lot of comments in this video. And if I put here the in, what do you think I'll get? Yeah, you're probably right. I will get the index, as you can see here. I got the index. But what if I say off and then I run my subscribe? I'll get, whoa, that's a lot of elements. Let's see, so here I'll get all of my elements, and basically we have first of all the first three, the table, my channel, and Revit. Then we have undefined all the way to the last element. Basically with off you get all the elements here in this variable e, and with in, I just can type in, then we get the index of those elements. So very important stuff, guys. So the seventh thing with the sixth index is the type of functions we have. We have a regular or function statement, your basic normal function, very normal things here. This is called a function statement in JavaScript because you know JavaScript wants to be more fancy with their naming conventions, not conventions, but their naming of the functions. And we have some function expressions, and this is basically where you store your function in a variable. And as you can see, the function doesn't have a name, my friends. This is also a difference, note that. And the last thing, we have AO functions. These are, you'll see them very commonly in front-end frameworks like React. So this is how it works. Basically, I can type in function here, and this is basically what's happening. Here we have basically this function are these functions the same, but in a arrow function you don't need to type in this keyword, and you don't need to of course type in the name. So but for that you need to add in this equals and this sign, and basically this body of the function is still basically stays the same. So that's all about for this video. If you like the video, you know what you need to do. You need to subscribe, and see you guys in the next one.